Welcome. I'm going to be kind of in a hurried pace this morning, but first of all, welcome back, everybody. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello, and we are still working on this cover. I was able to cover a lot of ground yesterday, so I'm going to keep it going, shall we? I'm going to put my little music on the side. I'll put it right here so we can bump. And yeah, let's go. So there's a couple of things that I would love to do today, which is what I'm going to do today is I'm going to add some more of this blue to the background, get a bit more glowing and atmospheric effect. I might bring it down a little bit over Big Boy's shoulder. I'm going to tilt this over because I want to show you guys something. And again, forgive me if I'm talking quickly. I'm just there's a lot of stuff going on today behind the scenes, and I got to make sure I get this taken care of and done before noon today. So you see that glare, that almost mirror effect? That is the smooth gesso coming through. I don't know if I like it. I don't like it. That's a lie. I don't like it. So I know near the end of this, I'm going to have to go over a lot of this in black. But let's just move along. I like what's going on with his face. Some black. I want to get this taken care of. So let's just go. First of all, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for being with me throughout this whole process. The only reason I'm hurrying along is because I have two other projects I want to get done before the end of the week for Friday. One is already sketched and needs to be painted. The other one I haven't even started, but I want to get those taken care of early because they're for my consignment, which I'm really happy for. I'm really proud of this partnership that's going to be building with a local comic book store near me. And the more news I get, I will absolutely share it. And if I got any local Floridians down here, up north Floridians, hit me up on the hellos and on the DMs so I can give you some information on where that comic book shop is. Not that I don't think they'll be giving out discounts, any mellow discounts anytime soon, but maybe we can hook up there one day and get nerdy about comics. All right. I'm going to use this dirty part of the palette. I'm going to keep these blues if I have to. I'm going to add a bit more, which is just this blue, which is really annoying me because it's drying out inside the tube. And this. I mix my blues because I love the way they texture, but I think that's the blue I'm looking at. Cool. I'm going to be lowering this. I'm not going to be reaching over. Maybe I am. Hold on a second. All right, let's go. I'm going to add some blue. The one thing I really enjoy about gouache is that once I put a little dampage, get my brushes wet, I'm going to be able to mix them along there and bring up some of that black. I'll tell you what I don't like, how quickly the white gouache dries. So I'm using everything today, guys and gals, fellow artists and creators, my YouTube fam. I'm using everything. I'm using my Hemi. I'm using my Artezas premium color, and I'm using my Arteza metallic. All right. Let's just grab some of this. I'm just going to put it somewhere in the middle. I don't care. All right. Let's start painting. This might be too big, but that's okay. But anyway, let's do this. There's a lot of glare behind me because of my windows, my blinds are open behind me, but that's okay. It's okay, one, because I really don't want to close the blinds so early. This is gonna make very little difference on the side here because I'm painting on the tape, but I want to at least provide a gradient or gradation. I mean, the composition is already kind of weird with his head floating. Great. Today I picked the soundtrack with all the ads on it. Alright, that's going to give us some really cool lighting. It already looks kind of cool. It already looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to keep it that way. I don't know if I'll build up. Maybe I will, depending on how dark everything dries. Alright. Let's do some of the simple stuff. Honestly, there's not much left to do but noodle around. So today might be the last time I show this on a live stream. Because like I said, it's almost done. I don't think I'm going to be adding any more. I'm just going to try to keep blending in the colors. I like the way that came out. I might darken that. I don't want it to come out too smooth. And I have to be careful at this point because everything's already dry. And if I add too wet of a brush or too wet of a paint, it's going to start pulling up the pigments underneath. And I don't want to do that. But I do want to add a bit of a highlight underneath Big Boy's nose. And that's going to... Let me see how bright this is. It's pretty bright. But it should dry. And then if I'm afraid, I'll take another brush and I'll blend it out. It's going to give it that level of depth. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Good morning, good morning. This morning for me, it is a minute to 10 a.m. Might as well call it 10. It's hard to see what I just did there, but it looks, where I'm sitting, it looks pretty good. Adds a little bit of life to his face. Add a little bit more white, a little more blue, as if she is reflecting off of him, even though they're not in the same plane of existence, first of all. Yeah, so this will very, very likely be the last time I stream this painting. I would hate to bore you guys. And I'm going to start moving into something else. And I'll share with you guys what that's going to be soon. I'm going to add some of this blue on Big Boy. think I'm going to need to add some gray to his eyes or some white. I am just roughly blending in, doing it that way, blending it roughly adds a bit more character to the work. Let's see here. Because it gives the impression of wrinkles and imperfections of the skin. And that's what you want on a villainous face like that. All right. I was really surprised how few people remember this character, these characters. I'm not necessarily aging myself. I wasn't born when these guys were created. So I find that fascinating. Because I thought they were fairly popular. Or it could just be that I like unpopular things. That's probably more the reason. Alright, let me add this blue over here. Just to tie everything together. And then I think we might be done with Big Boy. I gotta draw in his mustache later. But yeah, it just seems like everybody's fascinated with their attention span only gets stuck on Invincible. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, hopefully this has less ads. Alright. Let those highlights dry and blend. And let's move on. I'm gonna do the same for her eyes. That might give her... No, let's just keep going. Same way. A little dark gray to suggest a shadow from the eye, the upper lid. Then hit it with the white. Just grabbing a little bit of everything on my palette, on the warm purples. See there? This schmutz of purples and blues. I'm gonna use that as some of the shadow. And hopefully it's not too overpowering, but that's gonna be fine. It off and then blend it down. The brush was too wet, so all I really did just now is erase. So I'm gonna add a bit more.
We need you to build a space drop. What's your plan?
It needs to be fast, with blasters, and wings, and balloons.
So I gotta get it thicker.
You're gonna fly it.
Build and ride the new Galacticoaster at Legoland, Florida.
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with farmers, you can get quality and savings.
We are farmers.
Alright, hold on a second, y'all. I'm getting distracted too much. Just trying to straighten out some lines. I don't want to keep messing with her, and I don't want to pull up any colors from her, which I think I did. gotta leave it alone. Okay, so what that's doing its thing, I think I might get a little bit bold and start messing with Mr. Tracy's face. I want a square brush. I'm gonna try to approximate a shadow skin tone for him with all the colors that I have already on my palette. How's that? That looks good. Sorry guys if I'm really quiet. Like I said yesterday, I get quiet and get all into what I'm doing. It is what it is. I'm just trying to add a little bit more life to Tracy's face and to add a little bit of that noir atmosphere without going too dark. Let it breathe a bit. But I'm digging it, man, and I feel like I'm almost done here. I say that, but I probably got like 4 hours to go. But that's okay. I'm fighting certain tendencies. I'm fighting my desire to blend everything together. Because I want to embrace this look. All right.
I love how I can orchestrate music between one part of my home and then it can play everywhere.
All right. that is an ugly color, and I don't want to put it on my face here. So let's do this instead. This is the problem that I end up putting myself in, using a dirty palette the way I'm doing with gouache. With any palette, you can get muddy really quick, and I'm trying to avoid that. All right. But I'm also trying to get some really very colored colors. And I don't mind suffering a little bit for the cause, yo. Why? Okay, so why is that so thick? I want him to have a specific look apart from them. Because although they're going to be smooth, and I want him to be gritty so that you can stare at him a bit longer. That makes sense. I think the only thing I'm going to smooth out is going to be his I can't use that. His eyes. Which I'm going to do right now. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a damp brush and move the pigment that's already on the paper. To smooth it out, and then I'm going to add a bit more dark for the top, the eyelid, so that it can make the lower layer that much more. Well, you'll see. It's too much water. I'm suffering from a dry room again, so this is what's so fascinating about gouache, is that I'm basically tiling, just adding pigments on top of pigments, and as it dries, it just looks like it blends together. There are some places that I am actively blending it, meaning I'm rubbing it into each other. But there's other places where I just drop it and move back, and it does it by itself, and I think that's pretty cool. Not that I am, the process happens that way. All right, I think that's cool. I don't know what color eyes Tracy has because he's usually squinting, so let's give him some dark blue eyes. See, and then that seems to be, I'm trying to use a lot of primary colors. Once that dries, I can add a lighter hue. Nadipia, how are you? Varinair, how are you guys? Gals. Good morning where I am. I'm assuming you guys are in the afternoon. It is about 10:30 where I am, so 11 to 1, 2, we're probably 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I need to prop up my painting here so that I can see where it's glaring. I have not. Let me see. I'm actually trying to rush through this, so I may have to check what you added to the community. And first of all, thank you so much for adding and sharing his stuff there. I think that's really cool of you to do that. It's been kind of nuts in the last couple of days. It'll be kind of nuts for me this week. But as soon as I get an opportunity, I'll check it out. It's 8 p.m. No way. So you guys were watching way past midnight. No, not way past midnight. Close to midnight? Yesterday? You guys hung out with me in the afternoon? Now I can't remember. Everything's blending together. Well, dang. Thanks for hanging out. And you're in India. That's amazing. That's really cool. One of the things that I'm constantly fascinated about is the bridge that the internet connects people. Let me lower that. All right, I gotta... Sorry, you see how the glare? That's from the gesso, so I'm gonna try to start covering that up. It's too wet. Because it'll make it easier for me to blend later and to unify this piece.
Jeep Compass is your invitation to start doing Jeep things. With more tech, more comfort, and more capability. Here's to more Jeep things this year.
Known for pursuing your passions. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 18 types of cancer, including certain early stage and advanced cancers. One of those cancers
This might be one of the, unfortunately, the more boring parts of a painting, or of this painting, is this filling up of empty and dead space.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body.
But unfortunately, it is necessary.
Lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain or weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or flushing.
Hold on a second, I'm just the Alpine Vault. That's fine. Everything's falling around me. Is the first one on blue paper? I don't understand. No. Good morning, Saboteur. Not on blue paper. I printed it on comic book paper with blue line, meaning I converted all my pencil marks to blue lines before I inked it. Now, once this black paint dries, I'll be able to blend a bit better. I probably won't be doing too much show until 10:30. I gotta run in about 90 minutes. So can I ask what do you mean if the first one was done on blue paper? Do you mean blue ink? Did I get that right? And Saboteur, good morning, and thank you for that link. That is going in my save for later pile because your boy is spending way too much money, man, on books. Ah, gotcha. The first one was on blue. So yeah, Varun, when I am done, Varunair. When I'm done, I will absolutely check out your stuff and comment on it. I do appreciate you sharing. I might have to be a little bit finer. I gotta draw his mustache. Where are we at? Okay, over here. I may have to start doing some of these projects on my drawing table. Just so I can get the correct angle on these. But this one just seems to be more annoying because the paper, it's super shiny.
So our clients can balance today's priorities with tomorrow's possibilities.
And I'm kind of like losing
to witness something you've never seen before. It completely
the lines because it looks. I don't know how. Maybe you guys can see. See how that shiny edges makes it looks like the paint is sitting on top of like a glass or something. It's super reflective. So I'll be painting that. I'm trying to paint the negative spaces, but then I may go over the stuff I established, and I don't want to do that. That might have to be the price I pay.
It's life at its most mesmerizing.
It's amazing how there be days there be no ads playing. But today, because I'm in a rush and I want to take care of all this stuff, ads are every few minutes. Thank you for the compliment about the artwork looking cool and amazing. I appreciate that. I hope this is the beginning of a new phase of cool art. Be like the cool kids. But I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm close to the finish line on this. I'm excited to start on my next piece, which even if I'm not finished with this today, enjoy your studies. Enjoy your studies. Thank you for hanging out. I don't know if I can come on any sooner, but again, thank you, Werner. I appreciate your time. Studies are more important, man. Take care of that. But now that most of this shiny background is covered, it's going to make for easier blending. For easier blending. I have tabletop easels where it'll do this automatically. I'm just using a jar back there. But some of these drawings are pretty big. Alright, so I'm going to have to redraw some of Big Boy's face. Repaint, that's cool. Missed a spot. Get some nice texture there. Uh-oh. Let me move this camera so you guys can see what I'm doing while I work on the top. Well, at least the music's fitting. Little boom. His fedora and his jacket are bright yellow, so later, near the end, that's where I'm going to use the most prominent yellow and be able to hook it up. His hand here. And we're moving along. We're making it happen. you know what? I'm just gonna play the tunes. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll show you guys what I'm gonna be working on in a few minutes. But I'm digging the progress, so let's keep it going. I just ruined all my skin color. That's all right. It's almost done anyway.
Puerto Rico ignites
Heyo.
the spirit you buried and shatters every restraint. Dance. Connect. Awaken your senses. Discover Puerto Rico.
Oh, more cheese?
Discover Puerto Rico.
Now with more cheese. Our juicy bacon cheese.
All right, let's get back. All right, I think he's good. Let's move down here. Sorry, kiddo. My dog's been a bad boyo today, so. He's moping around now. Working on the hands now. Or hand. Adding some dark. You know, watching those painting competitions has really been, I know I've been bringing it up a lot. They have been really eye-opening on how these professionals do it. Not professionals, or I shouldn't even. There she is. Good gravy. And some orange. Yeah, my pets don't care who's on stream. She is losing it. Wow. I can't even be mad. Oh man. I can't even be mad. God bless him. I'm just trying to get an extreme highlight here. So it's some yellow. It's dry, of course. I need it to be smooth. A little yellow, earth yellow, and some orange, or yellow orange. And then I'm going to add a bit of white to blend it all in. But I'm not really sweating this. Nobody looking at Dick Tracy's hand. All of these colors are a bit extreme, but it'll blend together fine. I think now I can go with a moist brush and blend it in, but I don't know, what do you guys think?
Jenny, we need you to build a
Yeah, Jenny, we need you.
What's your plan?
It needs to be fast with blasters and
Need a smaller brush. I don't like using, let's see, what do I got? What do I got? What I got is a mess. All right. What the? What the hell? Put a brush on the side and I lost it. It wouldn't come back to my hands. All right. Let's do the highlight of this gun. I'm just gonna use all of these different grays I have on my palette, mixed with some white. I'm using this gun now as my reference. The original gun I painted there was garbage, and I like those highlights, so you guys can see that. So that's the gun I'm gonna use right here. That's what I've been using. All right. And it seems to be working okay with the highlights there. And I'm gonna try to use a drier paint. So that it can break apart and look dynamic. Maybe add a little bit too much body there, but that's okay. This isn't real. Yo, no kidding how freaking dry it is in my room. I'm sorry, that sounds like a broken record. Just can't be helped. I'm gonna put this to the side a second. I got too many things around me, and I'm losing space here. All right, and then right here. what I'm doing is adding a bit of yellow to my gray tone so it can have some reflective light. It's what they have in the cover I'm using as reference, and it looks cool. That's a little bright, but it will dry darker. I hope so. Clean the brush. I got a little bit of everything everywhere. I am really unorganized today.
The key to being rich, it's knowing what counts. It's investing. A little inspiration. Our financial advisors help clients find their rich and build financial plans to help them get there.
I don't know if any of this is really accurate. I don't care. I think I would care a bit more if it was but that's okay. And we don't need all that. All right. I think we're coming along, guys. Tighten this up, add some black here, and just redefine certain bits. And I think we'll be golden. Give Dick Tracy some icy blue eyes. That might be too much. Probably not even going to notice that. I'm going to give Big Boy brown eyes. So they can stand out in the blue. And Breathless is going to have clear eyes. She uses Visine. I don't like that, so I need to change that. want everything to feel ethereal, you know? Like there's smoke and just atmosphere everywhere. So adding, this is one of the things I like to do, is adding these little sprays of color. Really does it for me, especially for the dark background. Plus, it looks like fire. It could be anything. It makes everything feel connected. It's all connected. That. I'm gonna keep messing with the background. Let me flatten it so you guys can see. All right. I'm gonna untape this thing, and I am going to so I can draw on my table and move around a bit better. Wish me luck. Why am I gonna do that? I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's do it. I tapped my feet. My dog thinks there's somebody around. This thing is really hindering my movement. Alright, I'm going to leave it partially taped so that I can paint those edges. I'm curious if I should paint the edges white. Where's my white? Because if I paint it white, it'll give it a frame. So now I'm curious. Paint the frame white or the whole thing in black? Let's go black. Clean my brush. I'm going to use it straight from the container here. I'm going to paint over his hat there too. This will give me the ability to blend out that blue in the background there all the way to the edge of the paper. See if I can get a straight line here. I probably should have painted his hat. Anyway. I want it framed and tight and to give oomph to the paint, to the composition. Everything seems really confined and claustrophobic. Maybe I can add some smoke to that guy. That was good enough.
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings.
We are farmers.
Yeah, mine. That looks good. If I do say so myself. Look at that. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, blending out a little bit of this blue. Eyes, fix the, not fix the eyes, but give them a little bit more highlight in the eyes. Maybe the gun. But you guys, I think that is pretty much it. Anything else that I'm going to do is probably going to be off camera. What do I got? About like another half an hour for this piece. The next time I jump on, I'll be on something else. I might start my Spider-Man painting. I've been showing that one. Oh yeah, I gotta do some highlights. And I got a really cool Wolverine piece that I'm gonna do to add to my my project. Do you guys notice anything? Is there anything missing that you guys can see? No. So blend in these blacks, these shadows. Try not to lose the eyebrows. Add a bit more light so it won't look like he's rocking a unibrow. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If you have a unibrow, you're beautiful. So I just need to add a bit more light here for this brow. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's it. I think once I add that division here, we're gonna be all right. I think. Sharpen the pupils. Do a little bit more spritz. Add a bit more blue there. To match. I gotta be careful. I have black paint on this brush now. Okay, it's not bad. It's still bad. We're gonna add some blue. No, it's too much gray. Yeah, my I need to. What I really need to do is clean my water. Adding just straight from the jelly. Makes it look smoky, especially when it dries. Maybe I should do what am I thinking about? I had too much water in it. You see how that pulled up? Don't like it? Now I gotta wait for it to dry. And it's not the paint's fault. It's I had too much water in my brush. I'm gonna add some blue paint specks. To tie the room together. Yo, your boy's hungry? I'm glad you guys can't hear my guts. Alright, let's see if this will work.
For adults with type 2 diabetes, do you know about Mounjaro? In a study, Mounjaro lowered
peeps. I don't know what to put on because everything is just it's what's today? Tuesday? Everybody's trying to get their ads in. Some of this stuff you're not going to notice it, but I'll tell you, unless you're standing over it. I like the blue on the black. It adds a lot. Frames his suit. All right, I think. Clean my brush one last time. Get some pure yellow, and I'm gonna try to finish everything here, and then the last piece I'm gonna work on will be the shading of the face, finishing up Dick Tracy's face. But I think, guys, I think I just messed up all my colors. I put too much water in my yellow. So now I have to combine everything. Because if I add it, it might pull up my lower layers. It might be too runny. Let's find out. Yes, it will, but that's okay. Let's see. Because I want my homie here to glow. He's the good guy. This is really nerve-wracking. Because I'm almost done. And this is usually where the unnecessary happens. Did you see that? Yep.
America's first pledge was freedom. Jeep still carries that fighting spirit. With the Jeep Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American.
That's what I get for messing around. All right. Hold on to the brush, man. I'm sorry for the music, unless you're jamming. But I'm really trying to be hectic, and it's like too soft. It's counteracting out all the energy. Well, maybe it's helping me calm down. I can't do it. Oh Lord, sorry. Today has been a nightmare for music. With yourself. keep hearing things falling behind me. Holy smokes, that's thick. I think that might be it. Rolling the paintbrush over the painting kind of like shocked me awake. So let's be a little bit more careful, shall we? I feel disorganized. You can come over here. Yeah. Cool, kids. I think it's just you and me, brother. So you're right, technically. And usually when I'm talking to myself. So you're like, oh man, he's having a conversation. No. I am talking to myself, man. Alright, let's try. I'm having a rough one right now. Trying to finish this thing. But how you doing, Sabo? I know you're working, brother, but how you doing? Yeah, dude, I saw that, and I thanked you earlier about the link. Hey, man, the AI overlords be listening. You already know. But I think the one you showed me is one of 3, so I think they're gonna try to. They're gonna milk it. They're gonna milk it as much as possible. The way I've been milking this freaking thing. You have 2 pewters pushing out. So, can you? No, I don't. You know what? Maybe in a private convo, I'll ask you about what it is that the Skynet has you pushing out. But it's everywhere, man. If we're surely not much we can do but yell into the clouds, honestly. What do we want to do? What is it that we want to do? Be the loudest people in the room? That doesn't do anything. I don't know, man. Your full website. Ay, ay, ay. I can dig it. I got you. That's kind of cool. He said the missing scientist. So do you know where they are? Don't tell me. Put it in my DM. No, don't do that either. I don't want to get flagged. I'm glad I'm past the tedious stuff. Is it almost done here? Everything else is in the places where I can ruin it. Probably. We gotta say allegedly. Just for our safety. It's really busy. That's cool. That's your side hustle, man. That's what's up. You need an apprentice? I've been so far removed, my dude, from IT that unless you just needed to get plugged in, I may be of no help. It's not a great way to sell myself. Yeah, I think at this point, all I'm gonna be doing is noodling, and I think this part of the process is kind of like the most calming. You're done pretty much, and you're just refining. But it may be boring to see for the layman. Layman. I appreciate you, dude. I had to go buy my domain before somebody snatches it up and creates a website about feet. Few minutes to go. You bought 10 of them? That's what's up. Yeah, man, I gotta get into a different mindset completely. I gotta hang with Sab, man, and get all my get business savvy. I feel like I lost some detail here. I need to get a real good brush. I don't know. I'm afraid to use my Winsor Newtons with gouache. I don't think it's a good idea. But I need something small, man. And the brushes I got. No son bueno. I'm making websites to run ads on, even if it's $10 a month. Hell yeah, bro. I am not hating, man. Zeus Lightning. I'm Aggie? Or you're asking, like, I'm aggravating you? Or if you're asking for my age, no. But welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. You interested in aliens? I know a guy that has a website. So I picked up some old Punisher magazines, mainly for the covers. Man, some of these are really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna let it dry, and I think that might be it for today on this piece. I'm gonna finish it off stream on my own. Just because it's such a big piece and it feels, I'm making myself feel rushed on it. But I'll share real quick before I throw down on these Punisher mags. You already seen this one? That's the one I'm going to start painting. If I'm on again today, I'm going to start painting this one. They're the same size, just about. 12 by 16, this is 11 by 17. So I'm gonna start painting this. And then I am going to, where'd you go? Where is that cover? I'm gonna recreate this cover. I think it's dope. I'm gonna recreate. Oh my lord! I'm gonna recreate this cover on this artboard. I got the grid up, so I'm going to share this image. So if people want to join me, they can do so and draw with me while I do the same. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to use the grid so that I can get the sizing of it right. And then I'm going to draw it in my style and then paint it in my own style. So I'll share the image on screen, have people join me. That'd be kind of cool. That's what's going to be happening within the next couple of days or even next week. I'm trying to load up on some of this screen time simply because my amazing daughter will be graduating from college in a couple of weeks. And we got family coming down to hang out, and I am not going to be stuck in my studio. But yeah, dude, some of these painted covers, I love that cover. Kia. From James Sherman. Look at that, Joe Jusko. Oh, that's who we all aspire to be. Look at that pose, man. Look at that. Look at, he got 3. Wow. And he crushed a Z28. But what a beautiful cover. And this one as well. I love that face. But yeah. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned or hit up the notifications and subscribe. I might be on this afternoon. I'm going to be starting a new paint of that Spider-Man. Or I'm going to be painting Wolverine, one of the two. But I think I'm going to be painting Spider-Man. I want to clear up my stuff here. I am going to finish this on my own time. I'm going to see what it looks like without this background. Because I think that'll look cool. Come on now. That's looking good. All I gotta do is find a spot to sign it. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I might just work on smoothing out the hand. Little bits and pieces, but you guys don't want to see that maybe. But yeah, that looks nice. I still got some shiny places that I'm going to work on. Just letting you know, that is Bristol paper. So, nothing fancy. You too can do this. Just prep your paper, take care of your paper. I use clear gesso, smooth texture. This brand right here, multi-surface primer, smooth texture, lightweight, anti-fade, lasting adhesion, water resistance after dry. 30-60 minutes. I used a blow dryer. You know what I'm curious about? I wonder if I can use this gesso to seal it. But I'm afraid to do that. I'll use my wax. One day I'll do it. But, alright. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to let the music play me out. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. Till the next time, I'll draw you later. Bye-bye.